Okay, for today we're going to talk about the Middle Ages. Yeah, go Knights. So one of the main buildings of the Middle Ages, if you know the poster child building, is the cathedral. So fun. So here's one of them. They are all over Western Europe. This one is in the UK, I guess. So this is an example. You can see they took the arches from the Romans and they modified them slightly. They're much more pointed, but this is the type of building that they are most famous for constructing during this time period. You can see these arches everywhere in this area. Here's one arch. You can see the arch is actually going up like this. This would extend all the way back through the picture here. You can also see them over here going around. In each dimension you have arches that help support the weight and have the room on the inside. Alright. So on the outside, of course, you had to hold the building together so that they didn't tip over. This is done by doing some famous medieval technology, the flying buttress. Flying buttress. So what these were for is holding the top of the building together. If you've ever tried to make a very tall archway like this, the biggest problem is that the top will spread out. And these flying buttresses were to hold it in, but they were to do it in a better way than just holding it in, right? So one of the constraints that they were worried about is they wanted light into the building. Because they wanted light into the building, they couldn't just make super duper thick walls, because then you won't get light into the building. The windows won't be able to see any daylight. So that was one of the constraints. Well, one of the goals, I guess. One of the goals was to get light. One of the constraints is they didn't want to build it without light. You can think of it either way. So the flying buttresses were designed to help this out. This is what they look like if you sawed the building in half. So here you have the buttresses here, and here you have the spires that held up the flying buttresses. And it will tell you how they were constructed, generally speaking. So as they're doing this, we want you to reflect on what are the constraints, because they couldn't make it quite the same as you could with blocks like this, and how this helped them with their goals, and what other goals and constraints might they have had at that time period.